I'm Poet, and today we're gonna make rain sticks. So I'm just gonna throw my supplies with you really quick, and then we're gonna start building our rain stick. So I got some buttons in here. You can see those buttons. Whoops, I dropped one. I got some fancy glittery tape. I got a marker so I can add like raindrops. I got some scissors so that I can cut my big piece of paper here. I have a roll of, I had a roll of paper towel, but I used it all, so I use it for this craft. And then another small section of paper so I can wrap in itself. I'm gonna show you just the rain stick itself. So I want you to close your eyes, and I'm just gonna turn the rain stick on this opposite side, and you should hear almost, well, you should hear it if I did my job right. Now I know it wasn't a big storm, it was more like a sprinkle, but I'm gonna put even more buttons in it this time so that it'll sound like a storm. And I'm not gonna shake it violently like this, because that doesn't sound nice. I'm just gonna turn over nice, and so have that nice calm effect. So I'm just gonna leave that right there. All right, but first things first, I'm gonna start with just drawing some water droplets. Please keep in mind I'm not an artist, as I just did that. And I'm gonna color it in too, and do another one. And I'm using blue to obviously represent water, and it also helps a lot that I'm a lifeguard when I'm not a camp counselor. So you can add as many raindrops as you'd like, or you can do something completely unique. I'm doing raindrops just to reinforce the fact that I'm doing rain stick. But if you guys want to do like an actual like design where it's like a tree and you have like the clouds coming over and you can like see a bird's in a little nest in the tree itself, I think that'd be really cool. But for simplicity's sake and time's sake, I am just going to do raindrops. And most of them look like potatoes, cool. All right, I'm gonna put this to the side. So I'm done with my marker for the entirety now. So now I'm gonna take my raindrops and I'm gonna flip them away from myself. And I'm gonna take my empty roll of paper towel and I'm just gonna put it there, and I'm gonna grab my blue glitter tape. So now I'm gonna try and find the end of the tape roll so I can tape, and I found it. So I can tape everything together. But I'm gonna do this in sections because I am not quick with speed-related things, as most of you know from last time. And I'm just gonna put one piece of tape there. I'm also gonna put two more pieces so that it doesn't unravel as I'm doing my next steps. And my next steps are gonna involve a lot of cutting and a lot of everyone else being patient. And there's another one, and we're gonna do one more, just so that it gets itself hold. There we go. All right, and then I'm just gonna spin it around, and I know some of my water droplets do get covered, but I wanted to add just more just in case. And now I'm gonna just put more tape along this side with my blue glitter tape. If you remember from last time, I did percussion. So this is kind of like the same thing, but it's way cooler because it's rain, and I love the rain. And I'm also using Crow's, one of his favorite colors, blue. Fun little fact for you, yeah. And boom, there we go. See, glitter tape. Who doesn't love glitter tape and water droplets all together? All right, so I'm gonna put this down for a second. Now I'm gonna grab my other giant piece of green paper that I haven't used yet. And I'm just gonna cut it in half. And then I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put that to the side, and then I'm gonna take this piece of paper, and I'm gonna cut it in half again. And now I'm gonna take whatever side's littlest, so it'll be this side, and I'm gonna put this to the side. So now you're thinking, Poet, how are you gonna put all those buttons in here when you have just two giant empty, that'll happen. Anyway, we're gonna put a piece of like little square paper on top of here, and then we're gonna tape it around, and then we're gonna put buttons in here, and then we're gonna close it off so we can make our actual rain stick. So that being said, I'm gonna cut this again. Whoops, that was bad cutting. And one more time. All right, so we're gonna use this square to put on the bottom or top, whatever you like to decide it is. And we're just gonna put it right here. But we're also gonna wrap it around, kind of like this, so that it doesn't lose any of the buttons in it. All right, so like this now. I'm gonna take our tape. I'm gonna get a fairly decent size so that I can wrap around more than once, because I do not want all the buttons to fall out. And if I could, there we go. All right, so I'm just gonna put it along here. And I know I'm not actually hitting the rain stick itself just yet, but that's because I just want to have some sort of unison between the circle that is on top and the rest of the body that is kind of just floating around here. So now I'm going to use another piece of tape after I've squeezed it tight a little bit so I can put it across here so that it won't fall off. We're gonna use even more tape. We're gonna put one all the way over top just to reinforce it, because I think glitter tape doesn't stick that well to, well, the tape part of glitter tape won't tape that well to glitter, if you can follow along with what I just said. So we're just adding a little bit extra so that it doesn't run away on us as we're making this fantastic craft that I am so pleased to be walking you through. All right, and hopefully, that seems like it's gonna stay now. All right, so I'm gonna grab some buttons and I'm just gonna pour them in here, but first I'm gonna get a lot of buttons. Even if they spill out, that's fine. We're still gonna use all of them. I don't want this thing though. All right, so all these buttons, I'm just gonna mash them in here. And it will take some time, don't worry. But half the fun of arts and crafts is making a mess. And if there's one thing I know really well, it's how to make messes. If you've ever seen me in virtual camp or in summer camp, I get no sort of clean and tidy award at all. We're just gonna take all these buttons and keep putting them in. And hopefully when I put them all in, it's gonna sound like an actual storm instead of just like a little splash like the other one did. I should actually just reuse the paper that I cut so that I can help the buttons go in here way easier. Even if you lose some buttons in the process, your legal guardian will find them and say, hey, what is this? And you say, oh, I was online with Poet today and we made rain sticks. And they're gonna be like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. And they're gonna say, can you show it to me? And you're gonna say, absolutely I can. Because it is so much, so much fun making rain sticks with your good buddy, Poet. I think that's enough, but I'm gonna test it because I don't want another, whoa, puddle situation. So this should sound like a storm, hopefully. Let's get rid of a little bit. There we go. Let's try this again. All right, so we're gonna flip it over one more time. Okay, that sounds pretty good to me. That sounds pretty good to me. And so we're gonna take the other square that we didn't cut, and we are gonna use that. So we're actually gonna cut it so that it will fit into a rain stick. And I think, yeah, that's good. I can cut it a little bit more. All right, that looks like it will work. Okay, where's my tape? There's my tape. All right. If you're using glitter tape, prepare to have your fingertips turn blue. And if your legal guardian asks what's happening, just say you're turning into a Smurf and watch their face. I can guarantee that they'll love that response. All right, and this is just to hold it down for a second. All right, I think that's good. We're gonna give it a quick test so that nothing falls out, i.e. our buttons, and we should be good. All right, so that was the buttons going to this side, and now we're gonna spit it over and listen to it. So now we have two rain sticks. One looks super sparkly and shiny and wet because of water. And this one is just labeled rain stick with some streaks of blue representing water. All right, so we are going to flip these both over one at a time, obviously, and we're going to see which one actually sounds more like rain. This one I made earlier, and this one I made, well, during this video right now. So yeah, we're gonna flip the one that we just made over, and then we're gonna flip the pre-made one. So I can stay there for a second. All right, now close your eyes with me. Center. Listen. Listen to this. Ready? Sounds like rain. That was our first one, and here's our second one, or our earlier made one. Close your eyes again. Well, I don't know about you, but that one sounded pretty good. That one sounded a lot like rain. Here, we're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna flip it the other way now. Yeah, this one's, I think that the earlier one that we made sounds way more like rain, but this one does have a lot more buttons in it. So I think if you shake it more, it'll sound more like a storm, opposed to this one where it's not as many. So we're gonna shake them now to see which one sounds more like a storm. So obviously this one has more buttons in it, and this one doesn't have as many buttons in it. But we're gonna shake them one at a time to see which one sounds more like a storm. So we're gonna shake this as fast as possible and see if it actually sounds like a storm. With this one I made with you guys, or this one we made, well, I made earlier, sorry. All right, so I'm gonna shake this as fast as I can. Hopefully no buttons fly out if I did my job right. Ready? That one just sounds like a lot of noise, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna shake the other one. If I didn't know what these were, I would think that they're filled with coins. Because this one sounds like when I go running with coins in my pocket, and this one, this one actually might sound like really heavy rain, and this one just sounds like when I go running with coins in my pocket, because I don't use a real bank. All right, it's up to you. You can decide which one you think is better for rain and storm. See you there, guys.
Thanks for joining the Summer Camp Pals for another great video. For more videos like this, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. We've got great activities for you to follow along with all summer. If you want to hang out with the BGC Pals in person, be sure to check out our after-school program at 20 locations across Durham region, get connected with one of our great evening programs in the fall, or join one of our other amazing programs. You can find details about all of these programs and more at bgcdurham.com. See you next time!